Guys, football is back, and I have so much to talk about when it comes to the NFL right now. I have to contain myself a little bit because I know that I'm going to be talking forever if I don't contain myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break up a lot of different videos so that we have quite a bit of series that we can start doing and stuff. This is my first ever podcast video, and I'm so excited to start talking about football because I've waited throughout the whole off season. I've been wanting to make videos a lot and things have just gotten in the way. Now I feel like I can comfortably and consistently make a bunch of videos for you guys and for myself. So let's get started. We're going to start with the NFC North, and I'm going to predict what I think is going to happen with the NFC North in the 26-27 NFL season. Okay, so first we're going to start with the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, they're my favorite team, so I may sound biased. I don't care. This is my YouTube channel. I can sound as biased as I want, but I will try to be as realistic and understanding of where our team is at when it comes to what expectations should be like for my team. So, the Green Bay Packers. Last season was disappointing. We made it to the playoffs, which it should be an expectation that we always make the playoffs, right? Jordan Love, he looked like he took another step forward this last season, which I think a lot of us Packers fans really like to see. However, we still couldn't get over that 7th seed hump in the playoffs. We would have loved to have gotten a little bit better of a seed when it comes to that, but we still snuck our way in. As long as we make the playoffs, I'm happy when it comes to a season like that. Now, who we lost to is a different story. If you are a Chicago Bears fan, you can keep watching, but it's going to be a struggle. Anyways, the Packers lost to the Chicago Bears last season. It was 31 to, I believe, 27 or something like that. It was something close like that. And it was a dagger to the heart of all Packers fans, of all Packers Nation. An absolute dagger, because not only do you lose in the playoffs, which, yeah, that really, really sucks, but you lost to your rival. And it's hard for you to have a bounce back season after something like that, but if any team I think could do it, it would be the Green Bay Packers. Now, I've seen clips of Jordan Love in this offseason so far, and they've just had their first preseason game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And on the first drive for Jordan Love, he looked pretty good. He went 3 for 5, 18 yards, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but he had a really nice throw to Jaden Reed, and he looked very well composed. He had good footwork. Jordan Love, I'm not concerned about, to say the least. Micah Parsons coming back, Tucker Kraft coming back from 2 big ACL injuries. Those are obviously the big talking points around the NFL. We get it. And we know that it could be a little bit difficult for them to return to their form that they were before they had those kinds of injuries. However, if they can at least be 95% of what they were before, I think we've still got an amazing team. If you take a look back at last season, the Packers started 2-0 and it looked like Super Bowl contenders. Now, the Browns game after that was kind of a weird one, and then you had a really nice shootout game against the Cowboys. But then you had a nice stretch where we played consistently, we played well, and then everything kind of went downhill. We lost to the Panthers, we lost to the Broncos, and we barely, out of the skin of our teeth, we barely beat the Bears. But then there was a stretch after Micah Parsons got hurt that we just kept losing. Well, we didn't win after Micah Parsons went down. So that being said, the Packers are definitely going to be looking to bounce back this year. Obviously, things are going to be on the up because players are returning. Micah Parsons won't return until about October. He said that a good starting point would be the Dallas Cowboys game, which, I mean, that makes sense. Hey, that's where you're coming from. And if that's motivation for him to come back, I love it. So my prediction for the Packers season, I think that they are going to have a floor of 7-10, which I know that sounds bad, but that's if everything goes wrong and if injuries happen. 7-10 is a realistic ballpark estimate for the Packers, I believe. But their ceiling, I believe, is 8. Their ceiling, I believe, is 11-6. I think that they could be a good, solid team this year. They've got a tough schedule, and I think that they have a chance at winning the division. It really just depends on how well the other teams play. If we split with every single team in the division, that's 3 games, 3 wins. And I could see us having kind of a mid-season going back and forth, especially towards the beginning. I mean, like I said, Micah Parsons isn't coming back for about 5 weeks. So who's to say how we're going to look in the first 5 games, but I believe that we might have like a slow progression into the season, and we might have a couple of games where we flop a little bit because that's typical of the Packers. But I do think we will have a solid season. 7-10, it's a very, very low bar for them. I don't think that's going to happen. I definitely think that they'll have a winning record of at least 9-8, and hopefully making the playoffs. But I do want to keep expectations within range. I mean, I'm not going to say that they're going to go 13-4, but I would love it if they did. Next, we've got the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions, they're also looking to have a bounce back season after a season where they had a winning record, yet they still did not make the playoffs, which I love. I absolutely love that. And I'm sure if you're a Lions fan, you hate me for saying that. And that's okay. That's okay. We're all friends here. Bears fans, no. Lions, I think that you guys just had a bad season. I think injuries did not help your case at all. And I think it started off pretty poorly when you guys played against the Packers, I'll be honest with you. I think if things had gone the opposite direction of injuries not going wrong, plays and games going your way, flags not affecting the games, I think you guys would have had a much better season than what shows on paper. And I expect a lot better things for you guys this season. Obviously, you guys know just as well as the Packers know, we're in a tough division right now, and you're going to need to claw your way in games as much as you can. And I think the Lions have a lot of talent and a lot of depth when it comes to that. My biggest concern for the Lions, however, is their secondary. I mean, they lost Terrion Arnold. They've lost a lot of players due to injury, and it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back from that. I mean, Brian Branch, he's not playing right now. He's going to be out. It's kind of a scary look for their secondary. So that if I had to pick a concern for them, it would definitely be their secondary. My prediction for the Detroit Lions, I'm going to give them a floor of 8-9. I think that they're going to have a much better season this year than they did last year. 8-9, I think, is probably safe. I definitely don't think they'll have a losing record less than that. And I'm going to predict that their ceiling is going to be 12-5. I think they could have a monster season if everything goes right. Dan Campbell is a heck of a coach, and their running back room is great, having Jahmyr Gibbs and Isaiah Pacheco. I love Isaiah Pacheco. I think adding him was awesome. David Montgomery, he was an incredible running back too, but in order to get some guy to replace him, Isaiah Pacheco was an interesting move, and I think it's a scary move for other teams. And their offense is killer. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta. I haven't even mentioned Aiden Hutchinson on the other side. So they've got a killer team, and if they put everything together, they could definitely win the division. The Chicago Bears. NFC North champs. Yeah, they had a great season last year, and that scared me. I mean, I honestly did kind of expect it, but I didn't want to believe it. And Caleb Williams, I got to give the guy his flowers because he played incredible. He's an athletic quarterback with a lot of potential. I could have believed them making it to the Super Bowl last year. I watched that Bears-Rams game, and just to see Caleb play as clutch as he did, it was amazing. And I've personally not seen a quarterback play like that since Aaron Rodgers played for the Packers. It was truly incredible to witness. And their team, I do believe they do have weaknesses, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they have strong weaknesses. Like, there's not a gaping hole on that team. It's funny because when the start of the season happened last year, I watched the Bears versus Vikings game, and I was so underwhelmed by both teams. I believe the Vikings won that game. JJ McCarthy came back in the fourth quarter, but I was watching that game. It was boring. I thought it looked like Little League playing with the both teams that were playing. If you go back and watch that game, tell me if I'm wrong to kind of have that opinion about it. Maybe it was just because it was week one and things were still trying to be put together. But when I watched that game, I could only shake my head like, what are both of these two teams doing right now? But mind you, it was week one. Bears were still trying to put everything together. Same with the Vikings. The Vikings did not put everything together, but it was interesting to see how both teams turned out by the end of the season because the Vikings, they did not make the playoffs either, but the Bears won the division. So no matter what happened in week one, it doesn't even matter. The Bears still won. I love Ben Johnson with Caleb Williams, I think they've already proven that they work well together. Their defense is what I think needs help the most. And I don't think they made a decent amount of acquisitions over the offseason in order to help with that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bears fans. Like I'll leave it to you guys to tell me I'm biased and thinking stupidly. But I definitely think that the Bears do have a little bit of concern when it comes to the defense, but their offense, of course, is going to be amazing. They did lose DJ Moore, but I don't think that should be an issue with having Luther Burden, Colston Loveland step up in the receiving room. I think this team is going to be great, and I'm going to say that their floor is going to be 9-8. I hate that. I think their floor is 9-8. I definitely think that the Bears are going to have a winning record this year. I'd be surprised if they didn't. And their ceiling is also going to be 12-5. I think that it's going to be anywhere in that range that they play. They're going to play at a high level, I think, but I do think it's possible that they might regress a little bit this season than they did last season. It's hard to match a lot of those games that they played, which was very, very iffy towards the end of each game. I mean, like I said, Caleb Williams, he has a clutch gene to him, and it was incredible to witness, but can he continue that? I think that's what some people are doubting right now. I hope he can't as a Packers fan, but I do see him being able to keep his team in each game. So 9-8 floor, ceiling 12-5. I think it's fair. Minnesota Vikings. Kyler Murray is now your starting quarterback. How do you guys feel about that? I actually truly want to know how you guys feel about that. I personally think it was a good move. I think J.J. McCarthy is not ready. He has proven that he's not ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL right now. I don't know what that was. That was my neighbor. I don't think J.J. McCarthy has proven that he is a starting quarterback yet. I think he needs more time to develop. You could make the argument that he's had plenty of time to develop at this point in his career, but he's still a very young guy. I think you do have to recognize that. He has a lot of learning to do still, and him being able to sit behind a really incredible veteran quarterback that has a lot of talent, it's never a bad thing. And if J.J. McCarthy can see that, then maybe in the future he might be a great quarterback for them or for another team. Last season did not go well for them. They still had a winning record, of course. Each team had a winning record in the NFC North, which is amazing. But yeah, I just did not like what I saw from them. They were very flat in many of the games that they played. J.J. McCarthy was not helping his case by not getting the ball to Justin Jefferson when he needed to most in a lot of games. Their rushing attack, it was decent with Aaron Jones. However, their offensive play style just wasn't working for them with J.J. McCarthy as the quarterback. I think that was the biggest issue that they had, and I think Minnesota recognized that, and that's why they went out and got Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is extremely talented. He's proven that he can be a heck of a quarterback in the NFL. And if they wanted a starter that can actually get the ball in their playmakers' hands, TJ Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson, Ty Felton now, Jordan Addison. I mean, these guys are more than capable of making big time plays. And if Kyler Murray can get the ball in their hands, I think they're going to be in a really good spot. I have their floor at 7-10 as well. I think that they could have a bad, you know what? No, I'm going to change that. I'm going to change it to 6-11. I think they could have a really not so good season, especially because of the quarterback change. Now, Minnesota has proven that they can play really, really well with a quarterback change. Sam Darnold, I mean, that's a perfect example. Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl. Kyler Murray, is he possibly a better and more talented quarterback than Sam Darnold? I mean, if you think that, then you should have pretty high expectations of the Minnesota Vikings going into this season. I'm going to change it to 6-11. I do think that they could have a flop season by pairing Kyler Murray with Kevin O'Connell as their coach, or they could have an incredible season. Which is why I'm going to put their ceiling at 11-6. So 6-11 floor, 11-6 as their ceiling. I know it's a big gap, but I do think that the Minnesota Vikings are kind of unpredictable this season. I could see them being really good. I think Kyler Murray is a extremely talented quarterback, and if they put everything together, they're going to be a hard team to stop. But everything has to be put together, and injuries have to stay at bay. So I think that this season is a toss-up for all of these teams. It could be a bad season for any of these teams, or it could be an amazing season for any of these teams. But it is kind of hard to figure out what is going to happen. But the order of which I think is going to be the division and how it ends up shaking out in the end, I have the Bears winning the division once again. I hate saying that. Every bone in my body hates saying that. But I do have the Bears winning the division. I'm just kidding. I don't have the Bears winning the division. It's the Packers. I've got the Packers winning the division. I think that they'll have a great bounce back season this year. I think things ended poorly and it left a bad taste in their mouths, and they want to fix that and finish that strong. 11-6 is the ceiling, and that's what I hope that they end up having. I think the Bears are going to keep it close, and they're going to get second in the division. The Lions, I believe, will get third in the division as well. I think that all of these teams, though, are going to keep it extremely close. I could see both the Detroit Lions and the Bears getting 10-7, and the Packers getting 11-6. I could see that easily happening. And the Vikings, I think they will be fourth in the division, and I think the floor is going to be more suggestive as to how the season is going to play out for them. 6-11, 7-10, I think that could definitely happen. So I got the Packers, Bears, Lions, Vikings. That's how I've got this season playing out for the NFC North. Tell me what you think in the comments, but I am so happy to be back talking about football, guys. I'm going to post this video, and then I'm going to have another one of the NFC West coming up, which is another extremely tough division to predict, and arguably the toughest division in the NFL right now, if it's not the NFC North. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!